Yeah, what's up, guys? Girls, listen, a quick coronavirus update here, which affects all of us. I mean, at the moment, we're hearing some crazy stuff. Boris Johnson had his meeting yesterday, the Cobra meeting, and he's decided to sit on it for another 7 days and then review next week. A lot of people are ignorant towards this, of course. I've seen postings of people rubbishing the coronavirus, people laughing at it and things like that. And I've got nothing to say to those people because ignorance is not bliss in this situation. But banks are deferring mortgage and loans by 3 months to give people a break. Look, if they shut it down, it's only going to be for 2 or 3 weeks. The FA are meeting this Friday because Italy's in total lockdown. We're here in Denmark. We're here in Spain now playing games behind closed doors. The Euros qualifications now, Ireland playing games behind closed doors. It's not if, guys. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. I believe Premiership games are going to be played beyond closed doors, and it's just a matter of when this happens, and it's just for the safety. Remember, guys, look, football is all about the fans. I get it. But the problem is in America yesterday, somebody walked in, because they're not screening properly, thanks to Donald Trump, somebody walked into a hospital yesterday infected. They walked into the hospital, and now 40 people, patients, doctors, nurses, staff, 40 people now have to stay in there for 2 weeks because of quarantine, because of one person who didn't get tested. In other places, people are getting mobile tested. They're sending people to various homes. You call up, say you're not feeling well, and they're sending out test units to get those people checked and tested. But look, bringing it back to football, it's the safest thing to do, and it's probably going to happen at some point. And I just wish that everybody takes care. Look, rugby, tennis, cricket, everything is getting affected worldwide. Formula One, Bahrain just announced that it's going to be done behind closed doors in empty stadiums. Look, guys, it is what it is. Let's just get through this phase, and hopefully we won't have to worry about it anymore. Let's focus on Manchester City versus Arsenal on Wednesday. This is going to be the one. And if you've seen my message before, if you haven't seen it before, my message is brace for impact. This is going to be a telling of what Arsenal are made of, and we might not come out of it in a good light. And I say that at the best. You guys know I'm a really positive guy. I'm a glass half full when it comes to Arsenal. But let's be real here. Statistics are really going against us at this point. Before the Everton win, Arsenal had only won one game in their last 12 against teams in the top half of the table. That's the bad thing. Another bad thing is, I'll just throw in the bad at you before I get to the good. Another bad thing is, in our last 5 games against Manchester City, we have scored 1 goal, and City have scored 14. It hasn't even been close, guys. It really hasn't been close. But let's look on the bright side. Arsenal are on an 8-game unbeaten streak at the moment. And it's not the unbeaten streak that is really telling. It's the current form. Current form's taken by this grid that I'm showing you now, which is done over the last 6 games. And if you see, Arsenal are actually in 3rd place behind Manchester City and the title leaders Liverpool. So outside of those 2 teams, Arsenal are actually the informed team throughout the whole of the... I know people are moaning about the West Ham win. Let's see you moaners when we've got Leicester, Wolves, Sheffield win the cup, and all these teams that we're playing, Manchester City. Let's see you moan about that, because these teams are in the upper echelon of the division, and we are going to have to face up to the fact that we might not be good enough to play those teams. At the moment, we're showing a really good run. Arteta's not really moved away from his formula and formation. Tactically, he's been really challenged. He was challenged against West Ham. He was challenged against Olympiacos. And those are just teething problems that a new manager of 2 months is going to come up against. But he knows Manchester City real well. In fact, he coached a lot of those guys to where they are now. He knows their strengths and he knows their weaknesses. But what's important for me, guys, is, listen, we came off that West Ham win and showed that we can win ugly. And it's important that you can do that. Good teams who win titles win ugly. Yeah? So if you ain't played well and you've got the 3 points, you should not be leaving the stadium moaning about, oh, we were shit, we deserve to lose. And take it and embrace it. because that's what success looks like. Yeah, you ain't going to play well all the time. No team does. Not Liverpool, not in City, no team does. And City came off that loss against Man United on the weekend in real bad state. They still looked good. They created enough chances. Manchester United just got the rub of the green. And look, I'm looking for them to come all out of us. And City are going to be at home, where they're stronger anyway. And it's going to be quite a match. There's no denying that Raheem Sterling is talented, and all of these players like De Bruyne, etc., improved under Mikel Arteta. But he's going through a rough patch at the moment. Raheem Sterling hasn't been playing his best over the last few games. So what's he going to do when he's standing in front of Mikel Arteta? That's going to be another thing. This game gives him a reason to really get up for it. He hasn't been directly involved in a goal for the whole of this year. In 2020, he has not created any chances for a goal, had any assists whatsoever. He has just been the forgotten man right now. And when you look at Manchester City's overall form, it's players like that who are dropping off that have just allowed them to fall behind Liverpool. Imagine 25 points behind Liverpool. Forget about the other teams, because we didn't go out there and spend £1.4 billion to win titles. We're not the defending champions. They are. Man City are. And they are getting absolutely and utterly blown away. I don't think a defending champion for a league title has ever been blown out by 25 points. I don't think they have. I think they've been in or around the mix, but you know, and some teams have dropped off. I remember when Chelsea last won the title, the next season they were 6th. So, you know, it does happen to some teams, but not when you're spending that kind of money. Not when you're spending Man City money. Yeah, when you're spending Man City money, you expect to be competing for everything. So for me, this is a massive letdown, and it's only flavoured by the fact that Manchester City are going to get banned and kicked out of Europe for the next couple of years. And even if the appeal goes well, it would still be reduced to 1 year. But, you know, no matter what happens, these guys are going to get the book thrown at them. So what happens next season? This is what we have to ask ourselves. Is what we're seeing now the beginning of the end for Manchester City? Seriously. So as far as Arsenal goes, I'm expecting a little bit of a shake-up. We know Tierney, Suarez are fit to play. Arteta has said that. He's come out and said both players are play. I'm expecting to see Suarez at right back. I really am, because why? Bellerin, I know Bellerin ain't been playing well, but David Ornstein had come out and said that Bellerin had been suffering a groin injury even when he was playing. Now look, guys, when do we even get into a situation where players come back from injury, he's still not 100%, and you're playing him in big games? If the team knew that Bellerin was not 100%, if the player knew, he should have said something. The fact that you've gone out there and not been at your best, and had nearly could have cost your team, probably did against Olympiacos. Why has he been playing? Why hasn't Maitland-Niles been put in there? He's fit. But look, I'm going to go with Leno in goal. I'm going to go with Cedric Soares making his debut at right back against Manchester City. Because I don't think Mustafi's ready yet. Otherwise, I would say Mustafi. Can't see how you can play Socrates against Man City. He'd get eaten up. Raheem Sterling would roast him. And then I'm going with Mari again in the middle, and I'm going with David Luiz. And we have to do that. We have to go with our experienced guys and show our stuff. We really have to. Left side, oh my lord, left side is Saka again. Poor Pitney them, can't even get a rest. But you got to go with him because he's been playing so well. Midfield, hold it down with Xhaka, hoping that he doesn't cost us. And we're going to go with Ceballos again. Ceballos is hopefully going to turn up and play the way how we all know he can play. And this is what's important. This is what's important. What's important to an Arsenal fan is when we've got these big name players, yeah, Aubameyang, Ozil, yeah, Lacazette, all of these guys, when you play the big teams like Liverpool and Man United and City, we're them there. We're them there. Big players are supposed to show up in big games. You know what Aubameyang did against Manchester City when we had lost 3-0? He missed the penalty. Ozil hardly ever shows up in big games. And Lacazette, well, we know what Lacazette's scoring record is like away from home. So this is a game that's going to tell us everything about our identity. And I know we covered the next 6 games, which again I said brace for impact, because I think personally this team's going to go through a bad patch. That's what I think. I'm predicting that Arsenal will go through a bad patch, just because of the teams that we are facing over the next 6 games. I went on record in the podcast to say we'll only win 2 games in our next 6. And T from Gooner Squad, big shout out to you, my brother. T said 2 wins, 2 draws and 2 losses. That's what I will go with. I think that's what's going to happen to us. I don't think we're going to go up to Wolves and beat them. I think Wolves are going to beat us at their place. And I think we're just going to have some tough games. I think City's going to beat us. I think that's going to be our 2 losses. And I think that we'll pretty much play our part as things go on. I'm going to go with Ozil again. I'm going to go with Pepe on the right. I'm going to go with, you know what I would do? I would go Martinelli on the left and Aubameyang in the middle, but I don't think that Arteta's going to do that. Arteta's going to go with Aubameyang on the left. He's going to go with Lacazette at the point, and then Ozil sitting behind him with Pepe on the right. I wouldn't do that. I just would change it up. I don't trust Lacazette over 90 minutes. Not yet, anyway. And I would stick, after that display that Aubameyang had, I would just stick him at the point. And then I put Martinelli in to make, that Martinelli-Saka left-hand side would provide pure magic for Arsenal. And it would give us the lift that we need in order to overcome the challenge of Manchester City. And with Ceballos providing a game that he did midweek, I think that that's the way how we have to go. But listen, I'm unfortunately, I don't think Arteta's going to do that, and I think we're going to lose this game. I think that we're going to lose 3-1. I think that City would, I think City's going to, I think it's going to be another one of those. Most of the games between us and them have been 3-0, 3-1, 2-0. I just think that, I don't think we're ready yet for that type of level of performance against City. And I know City's heads are down at the moment and some of their players ain't playing well. But Mikel Arteta is the dividing factor. We're either going to go all hog with them, or we're just going to capitulate. So, and I just don't see us winning this game. Defensively, I think that we've shown some weaknesses here or there, and teams haven't really taken advantage of that. Some teams have just not been good enough. West Ham wasn't good enough to take advantage of it. Olympiacos just showed what they needed to. Everton had missed some glaring chances as well. I think Manchester City are good enough to expose those frailties in the Arsenal defence, and I think they'll score 3 goals against us. I really do. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'm going to go 3-1 Manchester City. And listen, hold it tight. Everyone who's going up to Manchester for the game, hold it tight, man. And don't forget to sanitize yourself before you go in there. These are worrying times right now. Revelations, my brother. Revelations. Big shout out to my cousin Michelle, who's up in Manchester. Represent for 101. And listen, guys, braced for impact. Yeah? Brace for impact. These are some tough times coming now. Don't say I didn't warn you. And if Arsenal get through it, then not only will that show good stead about what identity we have, but it means that we are ready to challenge for the title next season. This is a big 6 games that we're coming up with. It's going to answer a lot of questions about where Arteta has this team right now, and it's going to answer who he's going to keep on for next season as well. So listen, big shout out, guys. Right back at you. Peace out.